It is a crisp fall day in Hamilton, Ontario. The year is 1919. Echoes of slavery linger still at the end of the Underground Railroad. The second child of what would become a family of 15 is born to George and Rose Washington, both first-generation Canadian children of emancipated black slaves from the southern United States.
Like our whole family was a musical family. That's how I learned to play music.
5 short years later, in 1924, Jackie Washington would sing for the first time in public with his 7-year-old brother Ormsby at a recital at Benedetto Avenue School in Hamilton. In his early days, Jackie and the Washington brothers would perform songs by Stephen Foster and the Mills brothers in a cappella harmony without any instrumental background. Soon the Washington brothers would add a guitar, at first abandoned by Ormsby and mastered by Jackie in his signature style.
Now, how I first learned to play music, I got a guitar in 1932, and I was 15. We didn't know what to do with it. We couldn't tune it or nothing. So the big bands was coming up here, so I made it my business to go and meet them. And I told them I wanted to be a musician, I wanted to play guitar. There wasn't one of those bands ever said to me, look, we're busy, we haven't got time. They took time to show me something, you know. Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Artie Shaw, Louis Armstrong, Glenn Miller, and Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Guy Lombardo, every one of them told me and showed me something on it. So when the bands would come here, they'd want to meet people that knew a little about music. And my mother was a great cook, so they all wound up at my mother's plate. Duke Ellington's band members, Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald,
Wow.
you could go there and see, they'd be sitting in my mother's kitchen.
It wasn't long before Jackie was singing and playing with jazz greats like Ella Fitzgerald, Count Basie, Artie Shaw, and Louis Armstrong.
Louis smoked marijuana right up to the end.
Some of Jackie's jazz mentors were amazed that he and Ormsby, now playing piano, played everything in flat keys. Following Ormsby's tragic drowning death, Jackie would also learn piano to accompany the Washington brothers, which now included brothers Reg and Doc. Jackie was 19 when he took a job as a railway car porter with the Canadian Pacific Railway. Jackie brought along letters of permission from his mother, as porters were required to be 21 or older in order to be hired on. His musicianship earned him many friends aboard the rail cars, and he performed at parties both on and off the rails across Western Canada.
Jackie Washington rode the rails way back in World War II. Playing his guitar in the sleeper car, the lullaby the lucky few. He worked the Canadian Pacific line to satisfy.
To this day, Jackie's drawings of the rail cars are noted for their detailed accuracy. Over 60 years later, the Canadian folk rock trio Blackie and the Rodeo Kings wrote and recorded a song dedicated to Jackie's experiences on the CPR. They were able to perform it for him at London's Home County Folk Festival.
Jackie Washington, don't be a sweet soul, carry on. Everybody on the east side, and everybody on the west side. Everybody on the east side, and everybody on the west side. The blues and sentimental.
Boys didn't know that I got in trouble when the girl on the west side found out what I was putting down on the east side.
Jackie returned to Hamilton, and in the late 40s and early 50s, he hosted a jazz radio program on CHML. In the late 60s and early 70s, Jackie and his contemporaries performed at racetracks in southern Ontario and northern New York State.
alone in the dark.
In the mid-60s, the folk revival swept across southern Ontario. Folk festival and coffeehouse circuit audiences were eager to hear authentic folk and jazz directly from its source. Jackie was quickly in company with young Toronto folk scene makers such as Ken and Chris Whiteley, Nancy White, Maria Moldauer, Gordon Lightfoot, Willie P. Bennett, and a young Joni Mitchell, and many other musicians inspired by Jackie's enduring character and wealth of musical knowledge. After over 50 years of performances, Jackie recorded his first album, Blues and Sentimental, in 1976. Since then, Jackie has performed every year at Hamilton's Festival of Friends, Sudbury's Northern Lights Festival, and for 34 years at London's Home County Folk Festival.
I think this is the 34th Home County Festival, and I've been here for all of them.
Often joined on stage by longtime friends Ken Whiteley and Mo Scarlett, Jackie continues to inspire yet a third generation of folk musicians with his stories and songs. Brandy's Dan of Winnipeg duo Twilight Hotel speaks about her experience meeting Jackie during their main stage performance at Home County Folk Festival.
Well, this next song we're going to play for you is an oldie one for us. We've been playing this one for about 5 years. And heck, that's not even a long time, is it? Compared to Jackie Washington. He's so wonderful. We're going to be on a stage with him tomorrow. We're really looking forward to that. We were playing Stormy Weather backstage, like Andy said, and Jackie said, I remember 1933 when, Duke Ellington came out with that song. And he heard that on the radio for the first time.
Known to his many friends as a gentle, sweet soul that truly lives on the sunny side of life, Jackie Washington is renowned for his remarkable memory for the birthday of nearly everyone he's ever met.
Here's a little number that I learned this way back in 1937. Tell me why you keep fooling, little coquette, making fun of the ones who love you. Yeah, no, I told my grandson, I said, well, in November, I'll be 88, and that's a year for every key on the piano. And he said, I'll bet you're one of those flat black keys.
Jackie Washington's birthday is November the 12th, 1919.
Someday you're gonna fall in love like I fell in love with you. And then the one that you love will just be fooling around with you.